one of the conversations that I'm having over and over again when working with companies, as they begin to engage in approaching the topic of gender and race, they're facing intersectionality. They're focusing on Black women. There seems to be a thread and a theme that's actually a cause for concern. And that theme is how Black women are currently being used within the corporate structure. And this is actually above and beyond interaction or leading EDI, DNI, DEI, whichever acronym you use, committees. It's above and beyond that. And the thing that's worrying me the most is that whether this is by intention, design, or it's misplaced, a lot of companies are using internal Black women to manage Black women who are voicing issues within the company. And this is a problem. And the reason why it's a problem is because if you are committed to gender equality, it means you actually have to also extend that commitment to the intersectional part of it, number one. But part of that involves receiving negative feedback. Now, on the one hand, a lot of companies think, well, do you know what? It might be easier for a Black woman to talk to another Black woman. That's true. But the question is, under what premise? Because if you're asking one particular Black woman to talk to another, to ask her to tone it down, or to get her to persuade the other Black woman that things aren't so bad, you're not really committing to your journey. You're making the woman who is raising issues, you're invalidating her experience, you're invalidating her opinion. So don't use an extra, or I should say, don't use a senior Black woman to speak to a potentially junior Black woman who's complaining about the situation. Because we also know that there's a disparity of experience between junior member staff and senior member staff. But also, don't create further issues within the group. Don't use one as a tool against the other, because that's also not engendering gender equality, collaboration. Let's work together in order to achieve a goal together. It doesn't say that the company wants to listen to the voice of Black women. It says the company only wants to listen to the voices of certain Black women, and they want a highly edited, polished version, not the version that reflects the truth. So in doing so, you're doing twice the amount of damage, even if your intention is we want them to have an honest conversation. What is the outcome that you're looking for? Because you have to be honest with yourself as to how you want to negotiate that. You have to be honest with yourself when you're calling the particular, I'm going to call it the executor of the mandate. You have to be honest with yourself. What are you calling her there for? Are you asking her to be supportive? Are you asking her to provide guidance? Or are you somehow implying that she should take care of this? This is destructive behavior. Encouraging this behavior is destructive. But it also means that, once again, as I said before, you're invalidating the experience of some Black women. If somebody keeps bringing up a problem over and over again, they're not a broken record. This is a measurement. The measurement is telling you that things have not changed. That means it's time to take action to make sure they do change. So don't try and silence the voice that maybe you don't like delivery. That's not really the point of this particular message. What is the core of the message? The message is telling you there's a problem. So the resounding response has to be, we are going to take action to resolve this problem because you have been speaking about it for such a long time. It isn't the case to get another black woman to try and get her to be quiet. And if you are in that position of being silenced, it's not a great place to be, because it also means that you don't feel valued. So companies, leaders have to understand this. Companies have to understand this. It's not just about the outcome. It's how do we listen? How do we take feedback? I made a video on this separately saying that negative feedback isn't something we instinctively want to ignore it because we don't like the delivery, we don't like the message. It says that we're not as good as we thought we were, but fundamentally there is always a kernel of truth in it, maybe a lot more. So you have to really start to look at what is needed, what is being demanded of the company. Because only then can you really start to think about diversity targets, retention, what our larger goals are. We're committed to gender equality. If you shut out certain voices, then there is no commitment. Gender equality shouldn't be exclusive for one group of women. So make sure you elevate and amplify that voice, and don't use other black women as tools to try and silence the others. So, once again, thank you very much for your time today, and have a great day. Bye-bye.